Hello, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. We will wait a few more minutes. Well, it's actually early. It's just 3:57. So we'll wait until a little after 4 to see how many more people will join us, how many more parents. And then we have staff members also that should be logging on. All right.
Ms. Ryan, question.
Yes.
We're doing the presentation here and as well in the 6th grade because I have to be jumping from both grade levels.
Yes. Hopefully, Ms. Davis put you up as one of the first so that you can go join the 6th grade meeting.
Okay, so I wanted to say here longer than the other grade level because they already know me. But should I go there first and then come back here, or do you want me to stay here?
Why don't you stay here and we'll see how it goes.
Got it.
All right. 647330, please identify yourself. Tell me which student you're the parent of, please. Ms. Davis, are you familiar with this phone that's here? The 647330?
No. I don't know. Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Fine. Do I have all the staff members on yet?
No, you do not.
Okay.
There's still a few not here. Ms. Stratton, I have to go from here to 6th grade.
Okay.
So I will have to leave at one point.
Okay, Ms. Lugo is here. Who am I missing? Ms. Lugo,
Ms. Harris?
Ms. Harris, okay.
I will call her, Miss.
Thank
I
you,
will call her right now.
thank you,
Actually, Ms. Liesa also, and I'll
Mhm.
contact her.
thank you. While they're doing that and while we're waiting for those staff members to join, thank you, parents and staff, for joining us for the back to school night for 5th grade. I hope that some of your, you'll be able to meet your teachers if you have not already done so, and that they will be able to give you information regarding you know, how they run their classroom, their expectations, and various things that concern your scholars and their academic progress in their classrooms. So the way that the format is going to run is that we're going to go through a presentation, and each of the staff members will talk to you about their philosophies and expectations and how they set up their classrooms and everything. And hopefully at some point you'll be able to see the building and meet the staff members in person. But as for right now, this is how it's best for us to handle it. Just a reminder that progress reports will be going out next week, either Friday or Monday, I believe Monday. Progress reports will be coming out. So therefore, please speak to your scholars about the importance of completing all of their assignments and doing their best work. So at this time, I'm going to start sharing my screen. And we will proceed with our back to school night. This platform is not set up for us to do questions and answers. If you have questions or have some concerns, please dojo or email the teachers, myself or Mr. Busacco or Ms. Ramirez. I hope that you have met our principal, Mr. Busacco, and our assistant principal, Ms. Ramirez. If you have not, they are on Dojo, so you are able to contact with them or to connect with them if you have any concerns, and they will get back to you in within usually a day or two to address your concerns, unless it's something that needs to be handled immediately. So without further ado, let me start sharing my screen. So welcome to our Community Charter School of Patterson 5th grade back to school night. It's an information session. Our agenda is as follows. Welcome back, an introduction to leadership, the COVID precautions, breakout rooms, and staff introductions. Our principal is Mr. Busacco, Mr. Michael Busacco. He has been an educator for over 10 years and an assistant principal at another New Jersey school prior to coming here. He's been in the classroom and I think he was a teacher for like 7 or 8 years and then an assistant principal for several years, and he's been here. This is going on his 4th year. Our assistant principal is Mrs. Ramirez. She has about 20 years of educational experience, has been an assistant principal and a classroom teacher for several years. I am Mrs. Stratton. I was the school counselor, but this year I was promoted to the dean position. I've been an educator for 17 years. And this is my first year as a dean. So I look forward to hopefully not meeting you in the capacity of a dean, but in meeting you, just seeing you at dismissal and everything. So our operations manager is Mrs. Keisha Smith. She's been with CCSP for, I think, about at least 7 or 8 years, and she was part of our homeschool council prior to that, a family representative with that. And Ms. Davis, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Ms. Davis. I'm the administrative assistant here. I am who you would be talking to when you call the building. If anything, I've been here for about 9 years. I started off here as a safety monitor and was promoted to administrative assistant about 3 years ago. So that's the gist of Ms. Davis. Hello.
And now the educators, the fifth grade staff members and educators will do a brief introduction. And the persons who work with your scholars closely every day. So I'm not sure who's up first. Ms. Harris, is she on yet? No? Okay, we'll come back to her. Ms. Lugo.
I'm writing. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Ms. Lugo here. I am the fifth grade math teacher, and it is a pleasure to have all your students. We have been already in school for 3 weeks, and I have gotten to know many of our scholars in just those 3 weeks. But here's just a little breakdown, and I also did share with parents like a little welcome letter that kind of tells you a little bit more about myself, as well as some units and stuff that we're doing. But right now, we are currently working with our first unit of our school year, and this whole unit focuses on whole number operations and applications. So I don't know if you see a lot of your students come back home with things that talks about the place value and stuff like that. In regards to how our class is working, well, the way that we're doing it this year is, so we're using a program called Intermath, and Intermath has 20 modules. So the way that I explain it to kids was 20 modules means like 20 chapters, and each chapter sort of has 5 to 6 lessons. So every day for 2 days, we're kind of breaking down a lesson using those 2 days, where the first day we'll always start with an introduction to the topic, kind of getting to know, what do you know from this topic? What is it that we're actually going to learn from it, and kind of learning the skill that goes with that specific topic. Well, day 2 is more of breaking down the activity. So now let's practice this, let's work in groups, let's do those discussions based on that. So that is how our day kind of works. On Wednesday, since it's a half day, we do things a little bit different. We use those as centers. So our students get an opportunity of actually exploring many different things during those centers. And then on Fridays, what we're doing is that we're taking it to do tasks. Like I tell them, Google Classroom for me is my go-to page, because that is where I'm posting everything for them. So all of our lesson notes that I have been sending to parents, all of the extra resources, that all could all be found on Google Classroom. So if you do see that your student might be struggling on something, or they might need an extra help on something that we did, going on Google Classroom and taking a look at those notes, it's a great place for them to actually go and see. I also kind of recommended for all of them that every night we should be reviewing those notes that we go over in class, as our lessons do go by a little fast, since at the beginning of our unit, all we're really doing is kind of taking stuff from 4th grade and just giving it a twist to what 5th grade math really is. But besides that, all of our students are adjusting grade to math. I'm loving all the things that they have to say. Sometimes their answers, I'm like, oh my God, how do you get that? It's like really interesting to kind of see them put that into the classroom. In regards to our breakdown, tests are 35% of our grade, and I am gonna tell the kids a week in advance, and I'm also sending parents messages on Dojo, kind of letting them know. And then quizzes, which they took one, and then classwork, which is every day, every lesson has the classwork activity that goes with it, so they do get graded for those projects. That will be getting one. And then for homework, sometimes they will have homework where they have to either go back home and finish something, or they will have to either review notes, which is something that I actually do recommend, having them go home and review those notes, not only from the slides, but the ones that they also take while they are in school. They were all provided with a notebook, and if they didn't and they need one, then I'll be more than happy to provide them with one. But I do recommend that they have one specific notebook for math, specifically one of those composition notebooks, since it's easier for them to kind of go back and review those notes, since in class we do go back to those notes a lot. Our program that we're using is called Intermath. I know some of our 4th graders, some of our kiddos now are actually used it last year, so they're a little aware of the program, but the program has changed. So I'm just helping them navigate through the new program. I am coming up with a way of sharing that information with all parents, so they're able to also track their scores, because the Intermath page kind of breaks it down for them. What were some of the questions? What were some of the standards that they didn't get the first time around? and it provides them with like additional help or resources that they can use to get better at that skill. But besides that, as always, if you have any questions, I'm really good with Class Dojo. I am sending daily messages to parents, kind of letting them know like this is what we're doing, and these are the resources, or this is the activity that they're doing. So please feel free to always reach out on Class Dojo. There's my email. And if you call the main office, they could always transfer you to my classroom, and I'll be more than happy to have any conversations.
Also, parents, I noticed that there is a typo on the sheet form. The main office number is 862-267-9070.
I apologize for that one. I will send that out as well, Ms. Ryan, to parents on Class Dojo.
Yes, because that was our old number when we moved into the new building. We did not retain the same number as the elementary school. They gave us a new number. So please make note of that. Thank you, Ms. Lugo.
No
I see
problem.
that Ms. Harris has joined, so I'm going to go back to her. Ms. Harris, are you ready?
Yes, hi. Sorry, guys, I'm late. Sorry.
No problem.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am Ms. Harris. I am your 5th grade ELA teacher. Like Ms. Lugo went over the grading policy, my grading policy is for tests is 35%. My quizzes are 25%. Homework is 5%. My projects are 10%, and classwork is 25%. So far, we have been going over everything that they should have been working on in the 4th grade. I have been noticing that some of my students have been struggling with run-on sentences, so I have been doing a lot of reteaching of run-on sentences. All my classwork is basically on Google Classroom. If you have the app on your phone, you'll see that I do post work daily, and I've noticed that a lot of my students have been saying to me that they don't have computers at home, which is not a problem. I just give them a little extra time to actually get it done the next day. If they do have computers at home, can you see if you can actually get them to go onto, Google Classroom and start the assignments that they are missing? And if you have any questions or anything, you can always feel free to email me and always reach out to me on Class Dojo. Okay.
That's it? Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Ms. Matias?
Good afternoon. My name is Ms. Matias, and I am your student Spanish teacher for this year. I do teach 5th and 6th grade. So I do have a lot of students, but this class is amazing, I have to tell you. My grading policy is a little bit different than them. You will see on my second slide if they are allowed to put it. Every subject has a different grading policy. For Spanish, homework is at 5%, classwork is 20%, quizzes are 20% as well, tests are 25%, and projects are 30%. I always ask my students to please ask for help when they come with projects, because every unit has a big project and it's a big portion of their grade. We are working in Spanish with a new curriculum this year. It's this big, huge book, and it's 8 units, but every unit had subunits, like subtopics. Right now, we are teaching the basics for Spanish: greetings, introductions, color numbers, and all of those basic skills, just to make sure that your students are on the same level of understanding that they need to be on 5th grade. I do have very highly expectations of my students. They already know. I took my time to get to know them the first week and a half of school. I wasn't teaching. It was more of a them and I type of time. And I got to bond with a lot of my students, if not all of them. My expectations are high because I know that they can do a lot more than what they show me sometimes. It is a big difference when they writing notes in their notebooks, which they should have one. And if they don't, I provide a lot of them with notebooks. If they need it, please tell them to let me know. Like Ms. Lugo, Ms. Harris said, we use Google Classroom for assignments. My assignments are posted every night because I do teach a lot of students. However, they're not allowed to do them unless they are in my class period. They're not to be done before. If they are absent, of course, it's a different situation. They are allowed to do them at home. And I know some of them do not have a computer. So we do give them time in the classroom, and I allow them to do makeup days on Wednesdays. So we don't teach on Wednesdays in my class because I give them the time to go back and check if they have any missing assignments or assignments are incomplete. I think that's it. Just make sure you check your Google Classrooms regularly. It's a big portion of my class. They should be taking notes in Spanish. It's a language. So if they don't interact with each other, I'm not going to be able to know what is missing there, that missing piece. And it's fun. So I hope that they have as much fun as I do when I teach them.
And just as a reminder, parents, this is being recorded, and I'm sure that it's probably going to be posted on our YouTube channel or Class Dojo, one of the two, so that if you do not are not able to take all of the notes, you'll be able to view it again. And next up, Ms. DeRuvo.
Hi,
Hi.
am I on? I can't see me.
Yes, you're on.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
I can
I'm
see
Mrs.
you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Mrs. DeRuvo. I am the art teacher here at CCSP Middle. Right now, I have the 5th graders, mostly for art. Later, I may have the 6th graders, maybe next semester. So right now, these are some examples of the work that we've done already. As you can see that some of it's not completed, but I thought you guys would like to see some updates. Obviously, everyone in the class did these assignments, but here's just a few of them. So our art class for 5th grade is focusing on a demonstrated understanding of the formal elements of art, and those include line, shape, form, color, space, value, and texture. So we're starting off with some of the boring stuff, as you can see pictured here, and we will be making some much more fun and exciting projects with our skills that we learn in the first couple weeks. As far as grading goes, exhibitions are 50% of the work. So these are going to be what ends up being the final products of all of our students. I will display them around the school. And then we have classwork, which is also 35%, which is also these projects that we're doing in class, but there's some more little exercises and things that we do to kind of learn the material. And then oral and written tests are going to be 10% and homework 5%. So the tests will be, you know, things like art knowledge, more demonstrated skills than they will be like an actual exam. So the kids can hopefully expect to have lots of fun in the class, and hopefully art will be the least of your worries at school. It's nice meeting you all. I look forward to getting to meet you guys in a real life capacity. Feel free to always reach out to me at my email address or also on Class Dojo.
Thank you, Mr. Rubo.
Thanks.
Mr. Levy?
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mr. Levy. I am a co-teacher for 5th grade with Ms. Lugo in math, specifically with cohorts 5B and 5D. However, on Wednesdays now, I will be having every 5th grade class they will get 2 sessions in math on Wednesdays. It's been very exciting working with them And we talked a lot today about tenacity and about completing your work and fighting through problems that you may not understand and taking a positive outlook and attitude on them and continuing to work and asking questions after you've used everything you know. And the students are really buying into that. It is a great group of students. This 5th grade class works very hard. And they're going to be very successful. My grading is the same. It's the same policy as Ms. Lugo. And also the work will be in her Google Classroom. However, I'm available on Dojo and I put my phone number on here if you'd like to write it down. This is my cell phone. Anytime your students need help, you can contact me and I will work with them. My philosophy is that every child can achieve. I believe in parent-teacher collaboration. Everyone should have received a Dojo message from me introducing myself earlier. I believe in a growth mindset. Every student can achieve. So we have to get them to believe that. Team building, which Ms. Lugo does very well. And we all work together in the classroom. And we both have very high expectations for the students. They all can achieve great things. And then motivation. We give out Dojo points and we have a very positive Dojo award system in the school. And then I list my basic supplies here. So if anyone has questions, feel free to contact me. You have great scholars. You should be very proud of them. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Levy. Mr. Larinaga.
Thank you, Ms. Stratton. Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Larinaga. I'm the 5th grade and 6th grade health and PE teacher. For some of you guys, if you have older scholars and they've had me before, I definitely recognize some people's faces in here. But for those of you who don't, I'm looking very much forward to getting to work this year. Just a little overview about me. It's my 4th year here at CCSP. I'm a PE and health teacher, obviously, and I'm also the boys basketball coach over here. If you ever need to get in touch with me, I got my email up right there. I'll make sure I put it in the chat for you guys too. You can always get to me on Class Dojo. If you need anything from me, I'm usually pretty quick with answering those. And if you ever need to talk to me on the phone, feel free to set up an appointment with me via Dojo or email. I just wanted to attack one thing that I've been getting a lot of questions about here, so it's kind of in an open forum. With PE attire, I've been getting a lot of questions about the kids wearing their gym uniforms. So we're going to be doing health the whole entire first marking period. The first marking period ends the 2nd of November, which is a Tuesday. The 3rd is a Wednesday, so we'll be beginning PE on the 4th, which is going to be a Thursday. So that is, I see your kids on Friday. So just during the whole first marking period, they don't have to wear their PE uniforms at all. We're being instructed by the school to tell them to wear their regular uniforms during health, since obviously they're not going to be participating in PE. So they can wear their regular grade level shirts, slacks, and black shoes for the whole until November 4th. Then they can start wearing their PE uniforms on PE days, which for your kids are going to be Tuesdays and Fridays. But if you have any other questions with that, please feel free to reach out to me so I can clear that up for you a little bit more. I just wanted to get that out the way really quick. Ms. Stratton, can you go to the next slide for me, please?
Sure.
Thank you very much. So just, some of the stuff that, you can expect from me as well as your kids can expect from me. We're going to be talking about physical health. I'm actually pretty surprised about a lot of the stuff that they've been telling me early on. I know Mr. Zach taught them health last year, so they'll be calling out different kinds of food categories, different, body parts and stuff. And I'm very, very impressed with that. So it's definitely some good building blocks to work off of. Grading wise, the biggest thing to me, and I tell them this every day, is participation. It's worth half their grade in my class. And, I tell them all the time, I love to hear from them. I love to hear what they have to say about things. I love to hear questions they have to ask, because I do enjoy teaching health. And I know a lot of it is things that definitely matter to them and are very, important in life. So participation is always the biggest thing for me. That's due now is exit tickets and just asking, answering questions, stuff like that, sharing thoughts. Tests and quizzes, those go for themselves, just to, have checks, make sure they're learning what I'm putting out there. And then homework, I tell them all the time, as long as we get done what we need to do in class, homework's not going to be a thing. And as long as that's the case, which it has been so far, you're not going to see me sending home any work. So, just they know at this point what to expect from me. I know what I'm expecting from them every day. We're having a good time so far. Once we get into November, the gym opening up, I'm very excited for them to see it. They haven't seen it yet. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous facility. I'm very, very excited about it. They're the first group of kids that are going to have it. So, I tell them all the time, I say, there's a lot of kids who I've been with the last 3 years that say, that they'd be real, real happy to see this too. So I'm excited to get in there, excited to get it going. And, anything that you guys need from me, please feel free to reach out at any time. So it's nice seeing you all, nice meeting you all. And I'm sure we'll get more familiar as time goes on. Thank you, Ms. Shine.
You're welcome. Mrs. Leesa? Is she on? Mrs. Isolde?
Mrs. Soldi, I'm sorry, Ms. Stride, Mrs.
She's on the
Soldi's running
other
the sixth
s-
grade one. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's on the
she's on
sixth
the
grade one.
sixth grade. She'll be back.
Mhm.
Okay.
He's actually running that one. I'm sorry, I just came
Oh.
from.
Oh, okay. Mr. Zach?
Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Zach. I'm the music teacher. I taught PE and health to the whole fourth grade last year, who are now fifth graders. And I was super excited to see them come up to the middle school the whole year. I was like, I can't wait for you guys to be in the middle school. It's going to be great. It's really great to have them in the music room. We started our year talking about rhythm, which is, to me, the foundation of music. And we're going to go up from there. And we're going to learn about harmony, melody, how songs are put together, essentially, all the parts of a song and all the things that you would need to understand to make your own song. And that's what our final project is going to be, writing an original song. Right now we're in the rhythm unit. So your scholars every day start off class by listening to a rhythm that I play, either by clapping or hitting a drum, and then they write it out using music notation by ear. And we've been doing different skills like that just to get them accustomed to the language of music, right? Because it's such a different thing, listening and interpreting it in symbols. So we've been working with that, and the scholars are doing so great with it. The fifth grade is really, really taking this and running with it, and it's awesome. We're also learning right now different elements of different instruments. I had the scholars sign up for either ukulele, guitar, or drums, and the different students are learning these basic skills on all these instruments, learning the notes on the piano, learning the different shapes for holding ukulele chords, learning the basics of playing a drum beat, depending on which instrument they signed up for. So while scholars are working at their seats, I rotate and have other certain students on these instruments, and it's been a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of, we've just been having a great time in class. And to contact me, you can email me, you can send me a class dojo, you could have your scholars send me a message over Google Classroom, because all the scholars are connected to Google Classroom. I also have a Google Voice that you can reach out to me. Homework is 5%. I rarely ever give homework in my class. The only reason that your scholar would come home with music homework is if it's work that was not completed in the classroom, or if it's a listening log assignment. And the reason why I give listening log assignments is because it's independent listening in a private setting. And they basically, what a listening log is they'll listen to a song and then they'll give a response to it based on the things that we're learning in class. But I'd like for them to be in their own kind of comfortable setting to kind of really get into the music. So those are the only homework assignments you'll get from me. Quizzes are only really for me to check in on how much your scholar has retained from that unit in pencil and paper form, on paper, because our projects, as you see, are 50% of the grade. And that is really where I see where the students are applying all of these things into a real world example. Our first project is going to be a step routine, which the scholars are going to compose themselves using different rhythms that we're learning. and different body percussion sounds. And then they're going to have a competition against each other, and they're going to vote to see who came up with the best step routine. So those projects really show me where the understanding of all these concepts is and how they can apply them in a real musical situation. These projects are very, very important for the scholars grade, for all scholars grades. So just be aware of that. If there is a project that is the main portion of where the grade is coming from, besides classwork, which is 35%, we have a ton of classwork assignments. Do nows, classwork, exit tickets, they all add up for classwork. Participation, excuse me, participation is also lumped into that. I meant to introduce myself a little bit more. I've been working at CCSP for 4 years, teaching music, and this year I'm so excited to have the room that we have, the space that we have, the different resources we have to make music. So any questions that you guys have, please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm always here to help. And that's all about all I have to say. So thank you guys.
Oh, parents, just a note, as I was looking at Mr. Zach's page, I want to remind you all that Class Dojo is the preeminent choice for contacting any of our staff. It is the mode of communication from parent to teacher and from CCSP leadership to parents. So please make sure that you are connected to Class Dojo, because anything that we put out will be utilized through Class Dojo. Did Ms. Leessa join yet?
Yes, Stratton, I just want to say also, making sure that you guys are checking your dojo early in the day and also checking it at the end of the day.
Thank you, Ms.
Because a lot of the times, a lot of information that we get it at the end of the day after the kids left the school. So a lot of things get posted at the end of the day. So make sure you check it during the day, like early, and then checking it later on and at night.
Thank you. Mr. Rebelli? Some of our teachers are 2 grades. I know that Ms. Leessa is also 6th grade. I'm not sure if she's on the 6th grade call. Ms. Leessa, are you with us yet?
She's in the other meeting.
She's in the 6th grade, okay. Mrs. Soldi is running the 6th grade meeting.
So she can make it.
No. Mr. Rebelli?
I think I also saw him in the other one.
Okay. Ms. Davis? Well, Ms. Davis wasn't feeling well today, so I'm not sure if she's on the call. But she is a new position that we've created. It's the instructional tech coordinator. It's to help with the Google Suites. I mean, probably last year when we were totally virtual and then went hybrid, and we were hybrid for a while, we had a lot of parent questions about connection problems with Google Suite and Class Dojo and different things. So she will be our point of contact for any type of technology problems that you may have. If something is wrong with your student's Chromebook, or if something goes wrong with with our technology, with our programs, such as PowerSchool or anything that we use on the laptops or the Chromebooks, please contact Ms. Davis. Her contact information is here, meldavis@ccsp.org. And I'm not sure what this must be like to put in a work order to put if you have issues and you need for her to look at it, then this is her order site where you can put in like a work order for her to look at the situation for you. And of course, you can always contact her also through Class Dojo. Are any of our child study team members on? Oh, I saw Ms. Morocco on earlier. Ms. Morocco, are you still here?
I'm here.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry if it's hard to hear. Sorry if it's hard to hear me. My voice is a little out. Hi, everyone. I'm Miss Morocco, and I am the Learning Disabilities Teacher Consultant for CCSP, and I'm one of the members of our Child Study team. Our supervisor is Miss Volpe, as you see underneath there, and we have Miss Denise Sanchez. She's our 504, and she's also our social worker. We have Miss Caitlin Weinstein. She's our speech and language therapist, and we have Miss Virgo, who is our school psychologist. And each one of us are case managers. Our main location for our office this year, I'm really excited, is at the middle school, room 409. So we have a beautiful office. It's nice and roomy. So it's nice being in the building that, for me, that I'll be working with students since I'll have grades 5 through 8. So I'm really excited.
All right. I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Okay.
If you need to get, if anyone needs to get in touch with us, our phone isn't working yet, but our like Miss Stratton said, we have a child study team dojo. Just make sure you when you write the dojo that you address it to the case manager that you would like to get in touch with, or you can also email us, but like Ms. Stratton said, dojo, it is the best method to get in touch with us, but right now our phone is not working. So
thank you
so much.
Ms. Leasa.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mrs. Leasa. Just a little bit about me. I put a visual. There's a picture of my family. I'm really excited to be in middle school. As you can see, I have some middle school age children. I love science. I studied biology at Villanova, and later on, I got my master's in biology, and I taught in chemistry at NYU. And this is my 15th year teaching. Most of those years have been in middle school and a few years in high school. So I do love this age group. I'm excited to be here. Next slide, please. Is there another slide?
Yep.
Perfect. So we are delving into our patterns of Earth and sky in 5th grade. The scholars are learning about astronomy. They're learning about the sun, moon, and Earth systems. They're learning about how astronomers would be looking at stars, and our projects are phenomenon based on our platform called Amplify Science, and that they just logged in today, so they should have been able to see simulations, since we can't tangibly work with things in the classroom with stars and moons and things like that. In space, we have simulations that they'll be able to use on their Chromebooks, which is great. We also are going to dive into matter and chemistry and learning what stuff is made out of, and then learn a little bit more about our planet and then how to take care of our planet in conservation science. So our grading policy is on the right side. It is our uniform grading policy, which states that tests are 25% and quizzes are 20%. Homework is 5%. Presentations, projects, and lab reports are 35%, and classwork that they do is worth 15%. So they get a variety of ways to show their learning. And one thing that's really helpful for them is to bring a one subject notebook into class. That way all their materials are organized and together. So they don't leave the classroom with this notebook. It's always there. So they're continually journaling, reflecting, making observations on what their current activity is. We do a lot of diagram drawing and modeling with colored pencils. So if you can grab some colored pencils and stick it in their backpacks for them to use in class. That prevents us from having to use shared supplies, and always pens and pencils are helpful. That way they don't cross-contaminate and borrow from someone else in class. They're not allowed to do that. So those are the materials I'm asking of the parents to bring in. With Amplify, you can log in on your students' Chromebooks or on your own device with their Google email and password, so you could see how they are progressing. And I'm always reachable through email. I'm not sure if there's another slide.
Let me see.
Nope. Okay, so I'm excited to be here, and I hope to hear from everyone. And thanks for sharing your scholar with us.
Mr. Ravelli?
Ms. Stratton, if you don't mind, I think I'm there as well, might be in the beginning.
According to I think because you have them second semester, they did not put a slide in for you, but please introduce yourself, Mr.
Yes, of course. My name is Mr. Nazur, and I will be teaching social studies on the 3rd and the 4th quarter for 5th grade. Right now, I believe they have art, 1st and 2nd marking period, and 3rd and 4th marking period, they're gonna be seeing me during social studies. And social studies, well, the class, most of our points or percentage, the way the grading policy is based is on classwork. 30% is classwork, and that's the good news, because most of the work is done in class. They will be working with their Chromebooks, and they will have also tests and quizzes. That tests are 25% and quizzes are 20% for social studies. They will have a couple of projects, and also not regularly, but they will have homework. Homework is only 5% of their grade. So most of the work will be done in class.
Okay. And what do they, I'm sorry, I don't know if you said it or not, but what is the focus in social studies for 5th grade?
For 5th grade, yes. Well, most of social studies is history. We're gonna be seeing some of the civics, how our government works. We're gonna see some US history from the beginning, colonization. We're gonna see the beginning of the creation of the country. We're gonna talk about the American Revolution, but we're gonna focus a lot on how the government works, a lot on civics.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else, any other staff members that joined? Because I'm sharing my screen, I cannot see if you joined.
Mr. Ann, I'm sorry to interrupt. I have an important point that I wanted to make for music class that I forgot.
Sure.
And headphones. If your scholar has earbuds and headphones that they can bring to the classroom, that would be extremely helpful, because we're using online music studios where we're using loops and we're making beats. And I totally forgot to mention this, but headphones are very, very important for music class. If your scholar could bring in a pair of earbuds or headphones, if they do not have their own earbuds or headphones to bring in, I recommend obviously bringing in a cheap pair of earbuds. I'd prefer not to see like Beats in the classroom and like expensive headphones, just something for them to put in their ears so they can hear what they're working on without the sound of the other scholars' creations getting in the way, because we're using online studios where we're making beats and things, and it can get quite cacophonous, like a lot of sound happening. And so the headphones definitely help. If you need a link for cheap headphones, reach out to me and I'll send you a link where you can order really, really inexpensive headphones. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other staff members I'm not sure which grade level Mr. Ravelli is with, but Mr. Ravelli is our ESL teacher, and that is English as a second language. Of course, we have some students that come to us in at various stages of learning English, or who are not fluent in English as of yet. So Mr. Ravelli is the staff member that would assist those students in helping to build their language acquisition. And he would also help them with their classwork to maybe translate for them so that they would be able to complete their assignments. Those that cannot be translated maybe into Spanish, but basically he's really there to help them to learn English and to be able to learn the academic English. Because a lot of students know the conversational English and they pick up those skills a lot faster than they pick up the academic language of English. So he assists them with that and assists them with their classwork. So if you have a scholar who is struggling with the acquisition skills, or that has not been in the country or has not been in New Jersey for more than 5 years, they may have already been with Mr. Ravelli for a couple of years until they test out and are able to go into a classroom and stand alone with their English skills. So if you have any questions regarding that, you may contact him through his email, fravelli@ccsp.org. He gave his phone number, or he is also on Dojo. So if you have, if your scholar is one of the students that he sees, or if you would like more information regarding the program, please contact him. That concludes our presentation. So this is not, the forum was not really set up for a question and answer. If you have some questions though, and would like them, put them in the chat, please do, and we will try to address it. If not, if it's something that you want to speak to a specific person about, please dojo them or email them. As I said, the Power School letters will be coming out this week. Friday, I believe, we will be sending out the Power School letters so that you can access Power School and get into the parent portal to see the progress reports of your students. And also the dojo letters have already been sent out. The invites have been sent out. If you did not get one and you are not connected to dojo, please do so, because as we said earlier, that is the mode that the school will use to inform you of any type of information that we need to disseminate to everyone. So please make sure that you join. We have cut down on the number of postings, because I know that that can be a problem, or we realize that it could be a problem that you're getting notifications throughout the day. We have tried to streamline that so that there are not so many notifications. So please check your dojo, as Ms. Davis said, at a minimum of twice a day, in the mornings and in the evenings, in case something has come out after school hours. Oh, I see that there is a chat. It did say the COVID portion in the agenda, didn't it? Oh, let me go back. Sorry. Our COVID precautions, as you know, we are following the state guidelines with the mask requirement. All students are required to wear masks. We have shields in most of the classrooms. The students are hopefully 3 feet apart. If they're not, they have the shields up over their desk. We move in one direction in the school. Well, as far as on the floors, most students, we're traveling in cohorts so that students will not be exposed to other students other than the students in their classroom. So that's why we're using the cohorts this year instead of every student having an individual schedule and moving independently throughout the school. We also have the shields. We just received another shipment this week. So in the cafeteria, we have shields up in the cafeteria so that when students are eating lunch, that they have a little bit more freedom with removing their mask for a longer period of time. Of course, once they finish eating, they're still required to put their mask on. So we are following the guidelines as far as the students entering the building, wearing their mask. The nurse will see any student who doesn't feel well. And if there's any students who are sick, we ask that they stay home. But if they come to school, the nurse checks them, sends them home. As far as whether or not a student becomes positive or is in a household that someone is positive, we ask that they quarantine. The nurse will send the letter home and they have to quarantine for the prescribed number of days and have a negative test before they can come back to school. So is there anything else that you would like to know regarding the COVID protocols? Also, let me just mention that we are now using this program called Share 911 for the staff members here in the school. And on a daily basis, we have to answer the questions as to whether or not we have any type of symptoms. And if we do, they tell us that we cannot come to work. So that's, and we will also have testing for staff on a weekly basis beginning next week. If students are out while they are sick, we ask that the parents contact Mrs. Davis, the secretary, so that she can secure their Chromebook from their cohort teacher, and then they will be able to do their work with Google Classroom. So even though the governor has said that we are not doing remote learning, we have realized that if a student is out sick, we kind of have to, in a way, do remote learning. So if your scholar is sick and is going to be out for more than a day or two, then we require that you come pick up their Chromebook so that they can do their work. Any other questions? Yes, they can do their work on their own computer if they have the Google Classroom website, or if they can get to their Google Classroom website. The reason that we prefer that they use their Chromebook is because we have software on our Chromebooks that notify us if a student goes to any type of site that is not, I don't know how to say it, that is something that they should not be on. So it's called Go Guardian. So it notifies the teachers if the student is somewhere that they should not be. And also the teachers can see when the student is off task. Say, for example, if they're going to a gaming website when they're supposed to be doing classwork, then the teachers can see that with with the software, and they can either shut that site down or redirect the student back, or send the student a message and say, I see that you're here, please return to your classwork. So that is one reason that we prefer that they use the Chromebook. But if you would prefer that they use their own computer, then that's fine also. You don't necessarily have to make an appointment, but please call her and let her know that you're coming by to pick up the Chromebook so that she can get it from the teacher. Or so that the teacher can have it sent down to the office so that you don't have to wait. And do you, Ms. Davis's extension is 8101. The school phone number is 862-267-9070, and her extension is 8101. Or you can contact her on Dojo. Are there any other questions? We encourage the students to wear their mask at all times, even when they're outside. They have a little bit more freedom when they're outside. So, and we've asked them also, like when they have on their mask, let me demonstrate, when they have on their mask, if sometimes it is difficult to breathe, we understand that. We ask that they move it away from their face, not necessarily take it off, but move it away from their face so that they can take deep breaths. Of course, the students are outside running and playing a lot of times. So some of them will take off their mask, but we ask if they huddle in a group that they keep their mask on, because if they're in close proximity to another student, even though we're outside, to be safe, we would prefer that they keep their mask on. But they can, take breaths. When they go to the restroom, they can, remove their mask and breathe. Also, during the, I've had students when they were in the cafeteria for whatever reason say, okay, just walk over to an area where there's no one and just take your mask off for a couple of seconds, and take a mask break. So they are allowed to have mask breaks if they tell the teacher, I need to, remove my mask for a second or something. They'll let them step outside the door or something so that they can take a few deep breaths and then return with their mask on. I'm sorry, the lights in here go off automatically?
Can I add something to that, Ms. Stratton?
Please.
Okay, so I, at least 2,000 times a day, I repeat it to my students, having the mask below the nose is not appropriate. It's like not having a mask at all. I also tell them every day that my priority this year is their health and their well-being. So if they are in my classroom, this is a Spanish classroom, I understand that everyone has the same policy, but I'm talking for me. They are not allowed to have the mask below their nose at all. If they need a break, please tell them to let me know. They can come to me. They don't need to say it out loud. No one needs to know. And I let them out the classroom so they can have their little breaks. But inside my class, I need to protect them, the rest of my students, and myself. Even when I'm fully vaccinated, I do not allow the mask below the nose. And if that happens, I'm going to start taking points off, because I just repeat it over and over to a point that I cannot come home and talk. This is my voice every time I come back from work. And it's not my regular voice. And it's just because of that. Not even me teaching, but me telling them, please, I want you to be healthy. I want your safety. Please put your mask the proper way. I will beg the parents to work with us, our administrators, our teachers be on the same page, and talk to your kids about the proper usage of the mask.
And the importance of wearing the mask properly. And I have to agree with Ms. Matias. I repeat myself over and over and over again. Please put your mask on properly. Please wear your mask properly. Please pull your mask over your nose. It's a constant reminder. And I know that it gets to be overwhelming sometimes, but yet and still, for everyone's safety, we have to remind them that the mask has to be over their nose. So just please, as Ms. Matias was saying, please just speak to your child and remind them of the importance of wearing the mask in public settings.
Ms. Stratton, can I also add something else?
Sure.
Is there any way that you guys can actually send them with an extra mask? Because sometimes our masks do break. I know the school actually provides them, but sometimes it does take a little while for the kids to actually travel downstairs to go get a mask from one of the administrators. But if you guys can send an extra mask, it will be very helpful for them, because sometimes it does break in the middle of class and they do have to stop class and actually go get a new one.
And I think they need to switch at least twice throughout the day. Aren't they, Ms. Stratton? Is it not? I don't know. I switched mine like 5 times, but that's just me.
I don't know if that's part of the CDC guidelines or not. I know that they are one use, so they should not wear the same mask day after day after day, unless it's a fabric mask, and then that should be washed
Every day.
Every day. But you know, as Ms. Harris was saying, yes, we do have masks, and usually at the door in the morning, we have students who come to school without a mask, so we're giving out masks. And then, you know, during the course of the day, sometimes the elastic will break, so students will have to come and get a mask. Sometimes there's someone on the floor with it, sometimes there's not, or they go to the nurse. And the nurse is like in the middle. We have a 5-story building, the nurse is on the 3rd floor. So they still have to travel in the building to get a mask usually. And just so you all will know, the mask mandate is for staff and students alike. Everyone in the building has to have a mask on at all times. So we wear a mask constantly, unless I'm in my office by myself, then I take my mask off. But otherwise, I have to wear my mask when I'm in the hallway or, you know, just going up and down the school, in the cafeteria and everything. We all have our mask on. Any other questions? And that may have been the case. No, the school does not offer cloth masks for sale. I know that Ms. Keisha and some of the other others in the school, that's one of their projects. They make masks, but we don't offer them currently for sale. Now, I don't know if someone's going to be an entrepreneur and try to come up with selling the mask when we set up our school store or not. That may be something in the works, but as of right now, we are not selling cloth masks. And as far as the letter that went home, whenever we're notified that a child either tested positive or someone in their family tested positive, we have to notify, if the child has been in school, we have to notify the parents. And so I think that a letter went out to everyone that there was a case. And so therefore, when it happens, we have to notify everyone to make sure that they are aware. Any other questions? If there are no other questions, I'd like to thank you all for joining us for our back to school night presentation. Will they have to be tested? It depends on the circumstance. If you received a letter and that someone in your, that one of your students, one of your children was in the environment with another student, then the nurse will contact the parents and let them know what the next steps are. Because of HIPAA regulations, we are not allowed to know. And so we don't know. It's something that occurs between the nurse and the parents of the student. Thank you, Mr. Levy, for attending. So I'm not sure what the requirements would. Please contact Ms. Davis about the chargers. I'm not sure why they.
Ms. Donley, does Theodore has his computer with him?
She says that she needs 2 chargers, so they do have their computers.
Okay.
Please send Ms. Davis a dojo message, either Ms. Davis, either Ms. Tamika Davis or Ms. Melanie Davis. Ms. Melanie Davis, since she is the technology person, would be able to assist you also. I'm not sure what happened with that, Ms. Donnelly, because I guess they were trying so hard to make sure that they got the Chromebooks to the students that they forgot the chargers. I apologize for that. If you could come by the school, we will give you chargers though. Or if you can send someone by to get them. All right, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow then. Are there any other questions or comments? If not, I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight, this afternoon, for our back to school night. As I said earlier, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact myself, Ms. Ramirez, Mr. Busacco, or Ms. Keisha, or Ms. Davis, and we will address your concerns as quickly as possible. And it's a pleasure to get to meet all of you. We're looking forward to a great year, and we just want everyone to be safe and to continue to learn. So please speak to your children about the importance of their safety precautions when they're in school, because we would like for all of us to remain in school. So have a wonderful evening. And I don't see anything else. Good evening, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having us.
Bye. Bye. Thank you
Bye.
all for attending. Thank you. All right. Good night, everyone.